Morris? Morris?
Sorry, Jan, did you say something?
Sometimes I feel you don't listen to me at all. You seem to be deaf to my voice in a world of your own.
I'm sorry, Janet. The truth is, I'm in a bit of a world of my own. Look, I've just been reading something very interesting about Ed Sheeran. But I'm often thinking about work, or about an essay that I'm researching and writing, or maybe what we might be having for tea later on.
Maybe you're right, but it's very frustrating when I tell you something. Actually, I've been thinking about things and listening and hearing quite a bit this week. Do you remember the story of Jesus on the road to Emmaus?
Oh yes, I know that story in Luke 24. Jesus was trying to talk to them, but like me, they were tuned out because they were trying to make sense of all the things that had happened in Jerusalem, and trying to make sense of the crucifixion and the empty tomb. I think they were also grief-stricken as well.
That's right, but once they listened to him, they warmed to him so much that they actually invited him for a meal. He was good company. It lifted them from their grief to realise eventually who Jesus actually really was. And he'd been talking to them and they'd been listening to what he'd been saying. They'd been so fixated on his death that it took some time for them to change their perspective and realise it actually was alive. What a difference spending some time walking with Jesus made for them.
I think that listening to Jesus is the only way to make it through the day. I know that you read your word live on the computer every morning, and that you follow up on the music and other links later on in the day. And I know you pray during the day as well.
I know you have your meditational space. You read books, psalms, you meditate, you spend some time reading books. I think we all have time that God speaks to us in different ways. When I read my word live too, that God speaks to me, as you know. But sometimes we have to listen more. Sometimes it's not just hearing, it's absorbing it. And God speaks to us at different times in our thoughts and our lives and our dreams.
I think that's right, Janet. Life is very difficult sometimes and noisy, and I find it hard to listen. But I do have the routine of walking with Jesus, just like on the road to Emmaus. And I think that's really important for me.
I think there's also another element to that story about the meeting of two disciples with Jesus. That was a community. Jesus was in the middle of them. And I think we too can understand when Jesus is in the midst of us, whether it's actually on Zoom, in a house group Zoom, or in the church Zoom, when we're speaking with our friends at home. God too is in the midst of us and he's with us at that time. Don't you think, Morris? Morris? I'm speaking again. Morris?
Sorry, Janet, did you say something?